Board. And then those of you on the phone, please bear with me. We'll get to you. Go ahead, Ms. Ford.
Thank you so much. My name is Lori Ford, and I am with the Arizona Department of Child Safety Oversight Group. And what I've done is just gone through a list of the judges that are up for retention. And this isn't done by hearsay. This is done by a cumulative group of people who are in the courts watching the judges and the other actors in the courts and taking real specific notes. So I'm going to start out with Justice Montgomery. We feel he should not be retained because in the past he has favored foster contractors over parents when it comes to prosecutions. For example, hot car deaths. Parents were prosecuted, whereas there was no foster parents that were ever prosecuted when he was in the county as the Maricopa County attorney. Amongst some other things, but that's the main reason. We have Justice Timmer is next. As an appellate judge, she went with Paul Peterson in his favor when it came to granting unlawful adoptions. Her doing that continued Paul Peterson's actions. It's comparable in our eyes to the FBI ignoring the gymnasts in the Larry Nassar case. It just perpetuated more and more and more. And Justice Timmer did that when she was an appellate judge. I'm going to move to the Court of Appeals, Division 1. Honorable Gass, we feel he should stay retained. Many of us had seen him in action in the dependency courts, DCS courts. He was very good at asking DCS for evidence of their narratives. He let the parents speak. He took everything that everybody said and he cared about the parents, the family, and the children. It was refreshing to see that. And we are paying attention very closely to the appeals cases that have to do with Department of Child Safety. So the Maricopa County judges, Judge Ostrowski, we understand that he is going through some hardships right now, some depression and kind of chaos. Mental health is just as important as physical health. And Judge Ostrowski, in the position that he's in right now, we don't feel that he can be completely unbiased, just due to what he is going through. And, there's parents we can relate to him, completely relate to him. So the difference is he's in a position where he's making decisions about families and children. So, non-retention. Judge Bacchus, as a dependency judge, she asked for evidence of DCS proof of their narratives and claims 0% of the time. She favored DCS and the AAG 98% of the time. We move on to Judge Catherine Cooper. Open courts have been an issue with her. specifically in one case, case number CR 2019-001522. That has been a problem getting people into the courts under, it's really easy to blame COVID on everything, and so yeah, she's very biased towards the prosecution, which is the county attorney's office. Judge Culbertson, DCS court judge, she 0% of the time has she ever asked DCS for evidence of their narratives that they spew in court. 0% has she ever asked. No evidence. She's never asked for it. She sides with DCS 98.3% of the time. For those of you, I'm sure you've heard the term rubber stamp judges. She's a big rubber stamp judge. Whatever DCS wants, they get from her. She will not allow parents to talk in her courtroom whatsoever. Not even to defend themselves against the false narratives that DCS puts out. She won't have it. No parents are allowed to talk. She also had a DCS court live stream, proceeding put on the live stream, and on that live stream were all of the children's names and identifying information. So she does not abide by her own admonitions. We have admonitions that we have to abide by that are given by the judges. We abide by those admonitions. There's judges out there that do not. And which leads me to come to 92.3% of the time, Judge Culbertson does not even go by her own court orders. The court orders that she's court ordered DCS to do, she doesn't abide by those by her court orders. We have Judge Kuhnen. In his courtroom, he has allowed the DCS and the AAG to get aggressive with mother's witnesses, including the mother. Mother had a private attorney, thank heavens, who did intervene. Never asked for evidence of DCS's narratives about parents. The most disturbing part of being in his courtroom was once he hit the gavel at the end of the hearing, he proceeded to tell mother, who was dressed in military uniform, that it was her fault. This was all her fault, because if she had not been gallivanting around the country and leaving her children with the father and the grandparents, this would have never happened. Here's a military mother. We have Judge Fish. Judge Fish, very patient, but he did allow some questionable actions in the courtroom. For example, there was a jury consultant that was brought into the court by the prosecution, Maricopa County attorney. The same woman was a detective in the case. She was a prosecution witness in the case, and she was also an expert witness in the case. This woman was allowed to sit at the prosecution table throughout the whole entire trial, hearing all of the witnesses. So then she could fit her testimony to what the other witnesses were saying. Judge Kramer. I attend all of the judges' meetings, the Family Court Improvement Committee meetings. I attend all of the Juvenile Rules Task Force meetings, Disinformation Committee Task Force, all of them. Judge Kramer is on the Juvenile Rules Task Force. It was, I encourage all public members to be involved with these meetings. You see the judges in a different aspect, be, out of their black robes in the courtroom. Judge Kramer had some good ideas with the Juvenile Rules Task Force. it seemed like he wanted to hold DCS a little bit more accountable on things, but DCS is also involved on that task force. And he just didn't quite make it. He didn't quite make it there because DCS would speak and then he would kind of back off a little bit on some things.
I want you to get through your list.
Okay.
But you're way over time.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Sure. The admonitions from his DCS court judges were a little muddy at times. They were ad-libbed. And I believe that Judge Kramer did take care of that after I brought that up as a concern at one of the meetings. So overall, on the judges need to start asking for evidence and proof of the DCS narratives that DCS states in court, the claims against the parents, everything. Judges need to start asking for evidence of that. They don't. There's a perception of the public, and it's warranted, is that it's DCS's court. It's not the judge's court. It's DCS runs the court. So if judges are concerned about their reputation or their appearance, one way that they can improve that is applying the law in their courtrooms and, having DCS say, where is the proof? Where's the proof? So the other thing is DCS is known to say, we'll give your kids back if you file for divorce. So then they're in the family courts. So one of the judges in the Family Court Improvement Committee stated that, Arizona is a pro-marriage state. Not when you're in dependency court and DCS wants you to get divorced. We have two good parents. DCS wants them to get divorced. There's forced divorces going on.
You can't do anything about DCS. Is there any other?
Well, no, you can do something about the judges that are overseeing DCS.
Is there another judge you want to address on the list?
No.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Your comments have been recorded.
Judges in DCS court, we say don't retain any judges because they have been in dependency court at one time or another.
Got it.
Got it? Thank you.
Thank you.